Hey there, my name is Shane Craddock, and this is the Inner Edge podcast, where I share a different take on how to lead and live a sustainable, high performance life. Over the course of different episodes, I'm going to challenge the belief that tension, stress, and struggle are essential to success and creativity. My experience is that there's an easier way, there's a better way, and indeed there's an essential way that we need to explore for the times that we live in. So let's go ahead, let's jump in and explore. The inspiration for this particular episode is actually my car, which I recently changed. And the car I now have has a lot more technology in it. And one of the things that's in it, which I'm sure many people listening to this would probably relate to, is that if you go over the speed limit, you can set an alarm that flags to you that you've gone over the speed limit. And at first, the default in the car is that it was on. And at first, maybe because I wasn't used to it, it was slightly annoying. So what's that bell? And it just keeps going. And then I realized, oh, I'm actually over the speed limit a little bit. So it actually became very useful because at times, especially in Ireland, sometimes the speed limit will change, often irrationally. You could be going at a certain speed, then it just drops in a certain zone. You wouldn't expect it to. And it's important to be aware that the speed limit drops, because otherwise, obviously, you can get a ticket, you can get points. And sometimes you just don't notice maybe how fast you're going. The road can open up, you can accelerate. It seems like it's logical that the speed zone maybe should change, but maybe it hasn't. And then it's very helpful for the car to remind me that, oh, Shane, you're actually going a little bit fast there, slow down. And so that got me thinking about something that is, as leaders, as performers, as people navigating life, what's the equivalent for us? Like, what's the signal that tells us, oh, you're kind of moving too fast, or you're moving into a danger zone? And I think we have one. And most people experience it every day. They just don't realize what it's telling them. And that thing, that signal, is how you feel. And how you feel comes from, I guess, a human emotional system that's inside every one of us. It's constantly giving us feedback. How do you feel? Stress, tension, frustration, pressure, irritation, lightness, happiness, security, confidence. They're all different elements of our human emotional system. But here's the interesting bit. Most people, I think, treat those feelings as reality, and they treat them maybe as problems, something that I need to push through, something perhaps that I need to suppress, or maybe even something that I need to solve immediately. But what if those emotions are really just signals? What if it's just an inner GPS telling us that maybe we're going in the wrong direction? Just like the alarm in the car. Actually, one of the other alarms that's in the car is if the car drifts a little bit too much to the left into the hard shoulder, another alarm goes off. Or if it crosses or starts to cross the dotted line in the center of the road, it also goes off. And so those alarms they're very, very useful, but they tell you something very specific. Not that the situation is wrong. It's just that you're, in the context of a car, that you're kind of going in the wrong direction, or that, as I said, maybe you're running too fast. Maybe you're moving into a slight danger area. Now, as a human, when your feeling drops into those negative emotions, or even if your mind is getting faster, the quality of thinking drops. Your perspective narrows, your reactivity will increase, and once those two things happen, then your decisions will be rushed or compromised, and that affects your behavior and your actions. So it's not the emotion that is the problem, that's just an alarm. And think about it for yourself, maybe in the last few days, where something maybe triggered you a little bit. It could have been maybe a message or an email that irritated you. Maybe a meeting didn't go the way you expected. Maybe somebody said something that got under your skin. But what's happening internally? You probably felt it immediately. It could be a tightening of the body, a sense of pressure, maybe a shift in your mood. But that feeling actually is the alarm. It's the signal. And I think what most people do next then is they kind of accelerate, which means that they react to that emotion. They might push harder. They might respond from that state of that emotion, which to me is the equivalent of hearing the speed alarm, but pressing the accelerator. So you're moving further to the danger area. Now, one of the things I've noticed in myself over my lifetime and working with really smart, ambitious people over the years is the very capable people are often extremely good at operating under pressure, as in they can solve problems quickly, they can keep moving, but occasionally their inner system begins to run at a hotter level. It's like the rev counter. It kind of goes from the green healthy zone into the red zone. And you can kind of hear it in the conversation with them. The tone starts to tighten. Their thinking is more reactive and less spacious. But when we pause and just acknowledge what's going on, as in, okay, what's the feeling? Okay, there's a bit of tension here. Something interesting happens if you're open to it. The system, your inner emotional system starts to settle. And almost immediately, downstream from that, your quality of thinking improves. Not because, by the way, the circumstances or your external situation has changed. It's because your inner situation has been altered through your own awareness. Now, if you think again about the car, the speed alarm, it isn't there to make you feel guilty. It's just there to say something very simple, as in, hey, Shane, you might want to check your speed. It's not saying I'm a bad driver. And I think your emotions work the same way. So when frustration or pressure or stress shows up, that's an alarm. That's the signal. I don't have to react to it. It's not something to make me feel guilty. I don't have to panic. It's just there for me to go, hey, check what's going on inside. Like, what's my inner speed? Because I think what you notice as well is that when the emotions are, let's call them negative, as in they're going down, your inner mental speed, your thinking speed goes up. And actually, when you're happier, in my experience, your thinking speed goes down. So, what about you? Here's some questions for you to consider. What's the emotional signal that tells you things are moving too fast? Is it tension in your shoulders? Is it impatience with people around you? Is it a sense of pressure in your thinking? Like, what's your emotional alarm? You definitely have one. Everybody has one, if not a few. And I think once you go digging and start to become aware that, oh, that's my inner alarm there, that's my signal. Once you realize that, you start to gain something very powerful. Choice. Because you can pause. You can sit with it. You can reset. You can realize what it is as opposed to reacting to it. And because of that, then you can respond from a better place. So I guess the key point I'm saying today is that your inner human emotional system, it isn't just reacting to life. It's actually helping you. It's informing you, just like the speed alarm in a car. And when that feeling or alarm or signal appears, it's not telling you to stop driving. All it's saying is, hey, check your speed, i.e., check where you're going with that feeling. And again, if you've listened to any of my podcasts or read my book, The Inner CEO, you'll know there's a direct correlation between how I'm feeling and what I'm thinking. And when we start to learn to listen to the feeling, the signal, interestingly, our thinking improves. Our thinking improves. And the quality of our thinking really determines the quality of life, of work, our results, everything. Our conversations improve, and then also our quality of decisions improve too. So I guess what I'm saying here in simple terms is that how we feel, our emotions, are not the problem. All they are is an alarm, a signal on our dashboard inside. And how we feel is often the first signal that maybe inside we need to slow down and maybe change the speed. That's it. Ciao for now.